Okay, we're going to try this. So here we go. My equation is y equals 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. And the point is when x equals 3. So the first thing that I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and find out, well, what's the y value at that point? So that should be pretty easy for everybody, right? I take 3, I plug it into here, and I find out what the actual y value is. So 3 squared is 9. 2 times 9 is 18. So I got an 18. 3 times 4 is 12. I got a 12. And I got minus 6. 18 and 12 is 30. 30 minus 6 is 24. Everybody agree 324 is the point that we're going to have this line go through? Okay, so here's where it becomes scary. This thing is called the difference quotient. Difference quotient. And if this thing helps us find the slope of this line. Helps us find the slope of the tangent line. Is okay? I'll move this up just a smidge. Okay, so here we go. The difference quotient looks like this. F of x plus h minus f of x all divided by h as h approaches 0. So it's just a little expression here, a little division problem as h approaches 0. So what does that mean? It means that we're going to try and make this distance, this h distance, the height between these 2 points, as small as possible. But I have to plug this into here. So that means I'm going to take the function with an x plus h as an input. So my first thing, start all the way on the left side of your paper. It's going to be 2, and I'm going to shove x plus h in where x is in the equation. So I get 2 times x plus h squared plus 4. Is there another x right here? So I got to plug an x plus h in there. And then a minus 6. So what I just did was I took this section of the problem. All I've done so far is this section, and I've plugged x plus h into that equation right up there. Okay? Now this says, according to it, I still have to do this part, right? I still have to subtract the regular function. So I'm going to subtract the original function, 2x squared plus 4x minus 6. Everybody okay with that? And all of this is divided by what? H. And what is our rule for h in this problem? It's going to approach 0. Now if it was equal to 0, what would happen? This whole thing would be undefined, right? Because we can't have division by 0. So that's why we're going to make it as close as possible. Okay, so now I got to do a bunch of algebra stuff. So if I have x plus h squared, don't I have to expand that? That's x plus h times x plus h. So I'm going to have on this numerator right here, 2 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, because that's x plus h times x plus h, right? I cannot square them individually. We already talked about that, just like square rooting individually. Can't do that with a plus or a minus. But x plus h times x plus h is that. Absolutely. Is that good? Is there anybody not sure where that's coming from? Speak now. Awesome. So next. Then I have 4 times this quantity, so I'm going to do plus 4x plus 4h. Is that okay? Does the 4 distribute to the negative 6? Nope. So I got a minus 6. Can this negative distribute to everything inside this parentheses? Yes. Okay. So negative 2x squared minus 4x plus 6. Because the negative goes into each one of those things, changes all their signs. Now all of this is divided by h as h approaches 0. So So I'm almost done with expansion on the whole top thing. I still have this 2 that has to distribute into these parentheses, and then I'll have all my parentheses gone. Is that correct? So here we go. 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared plus 4x plus 4h minus 6 minus 2x squared minus 4x plus 6 all over h as h approaches 0. And it's at this point right now that we are now coming downhill, right? We have gone up the mountain. We've done all this stuff. What do you guys notice about the numerator? Somebody give me some insight about the numerator right now. What? A lot of it cancels out. Tell me, is there a 2x squared? Is there a negative 2x squared? Cancel them out. What else cancels out? Do we see the negative 6 right here and the positive 6 right there? Do you see a 4x? See a negative 4x? And here's what's really nice about this is the fact is every term that's left all has h's in them. So if you have something that doesn't have an h in it, something happened wrong because they should all go away. So now I have 4xh plus 2h squared plus 4h over h as h gets really, really tiny. Good? Now, here's what's nice. Do you agree there's an h on the bottom?
Yeah.
Can you pull all the h's out of the top? Or you can just do that division, so this h will kill that h, one of those h's, and it'll kill that h. So when I do that division, right, I'm going to have 4x plus 2h plus 4. Just doing that division. What did I say was happening with h, though? Getting close to 0. Like how close to 0? Like 0.1? Or like 0.50 billion zeros and then a 1? So if h is that tiny, what do you think that does to that 2? Pretty much makes it insignificant. Is that okay? So we said a long time ago, way back here, right? This was going to help us find the slope. So this equation that's left, the m, the slope of this line will always be found by using this 4x plus 4, whatever's left. And the nice thing is, that is what we use for any point. We happen to pick the point 324, right? So all I have to do is take this 3 and plug it in, and I'll find the slope of the line when x is 3. If I wanted, when x was 5, I could plug the 5 into there. It would tell me the slope of the line. If I wanted negative 8, I plug negative 8 into there. So this is the slope finding equation. Slope finding equation. So what is my slope then? Everybody agree 16? Because 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16. So I get y equals 16x. Plus something. I don't know what it is. Some y-intercept. I wish I knew a point that is where I want this. I have one, Greg? Where is it? Oh, it's right there. 324. That's why we did that in the very beginning. So let's go ahead and plug that in. And I get 24 is equal to 16 times 3 plus b. 24 equals 48 plus b. B is equal to negative 24. So the equation of my tangent line is y equals 16x minus 24. Final answer. Told you it was going to be big. Okay, now, look.